Hello, everybody. It's me again, Frankie, and welcome to another edition of How We Solve It here at Cirrus Insight. Each week, I'll sit down with one of our amazing rock stars to learn a little bit about how they solve frequently asked customer questions or challenges that they may face. And maybe I might just ask them something random, like if you could go up to the universe on a spaceship, would you? So that's how we do it out here at Cirrus Insight. We have Keith Finelli here as our guest. Hi, Keith.
Hey, Frankie. How are you?
Good. Do you mind telling the folks what you do and what your title is?
Yeah, I am the manager of the customer support team. Pretty much oversee the chat team and kind of make sure everyone is prepared to answer questions from customers and solve problems and just kind of help them, guide them to the correct path and many other things, but that's the main focus right there.
Very nice. Well, before we get and dive deep into all that excitement right there that you provide for Cirrus Insight, do you believe that there are actual pots at the end of rainbows?
I wish there were pots at the end of rainbows because there would be gold there, right? But
Yeah.
in actuality, no. But who's ever seen the end of a rainbow to confirm, right?
That is true. I mean, I'm sure somebody thinks that they have, but I'm pretty sure that there isn't anything. So outside of that, do you mind providing us just like with something that you really enjoy doing just for Keith?
Yeah, one of my hobbies, and frankly, you're very aware of this, is I like to design T-shirts. So I have a couple websites up that they're not my websites, but it's a website where you can upload designs and people can basically purchase them. So currently I have about 150 up there, and it's kind of my hobby to create them, put them up there, design shirts for my kids, design shirts for me to wear, and for Frankie's brother.
Got to keep it in the family. No, he does really great work. And I think that's a really, really great way to decompress, just kind of do your own thing. So very exciting. If you guys are interested, you can reach out to me and I'll hook you up. But back to why we're here. So do you mind providing us, Keith, with something that you've, recently had a challenge on or just frequently asked questions from customers?
Yeah, I would say from a 19 perspective, campaigns, the most used way of sending a campaign is with the CSV file. Pretty much anyone that comes in with a problem on campaigns, that's the usual setup, and it's usually a formatting issue. There's a lot of nuances to how the CSV has to appear and how the merge tags have to appear. And it's usually just an educational thing, just to convey to the customers. It's always something around that, like there could be empty columns where there's just no data. There could be empty rows for the same reason, or they could just be using an incorrect merge tag, which corresponds with the CSV. So that's basically what we do, just make sure that they have it correct. So the usual fix is for them to send us their actual file, see if we can replicate the issue. 9 times out of 10 we can, because it's again a formatting of the CSV. So then we're able to actually play around with their CSV directly and then work it out to where it gets fixed. And then once we understand exactly what they did wrong, we send them the updated version of that CSV and also explain to them how it works, so the next time they don't have that problem. And that is a very common issue that comes up quite a bit.
Okay. Is there any advice that you would give to clients that possibly might have, come across this before reaching out to Cirrus Insight?
Well, it's kind of hard to convey that proactively because there are KB articles about it, but they'd have to find it ahead of time. So, but that being said, it is a particular problem that comes up. So I wish it were a little more user-friendly in that respect, but it's just an educational thing. So you kind of have to just react to it as opposed to getting something to them ahead of time. But I wish there was a way to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But, obviously we have a really great support team.
Yes.
And, so if you have any questions or any issues, please reach out to us. But before we head out, Do you believe in mystical creatures, Keith?
Not at all, except for unicorns.
That's why I knew I liked you. So is that the mystical creature you'd wish you were?
I don't know if I wish I were a mystical creature.
Well, what if you could? What if you were able to become a mystical
If I could be a mystical creature that I don't believe exists, it would be something that could.
in there that don't.
I wish it were something that could fly, just because who doesn't want to fly? But what that specific thing is, the only thing I can think of is a griffin, but I don't even know if they actually fly. They have wings, but
Maybe they take really long hops. I mean,
maybe.
that's better than just like, walking normally. So, I mean, we'll take it. But that's all the time we have for today. I really appreciate you, Keith, for joining us and just giving some insight into, the workings of Cirrus Insight. Tune in for the next time where, speaking of mystical creatures, I will be fighting a unicorn, Una. She owes me some money. But, that's for another story. But you know what's free? Our 14-day trial at Cirrus Insight. So go on in to our website, cirrusinsight.com, and click that trial and give it a try. And I promise you, you won't regret it. So on that note, I thank you again for joining us and again for having Keith here on our show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been fun.
All right. Bye, everybody.